Mr. Gonzalez Dominguez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. Second offense. Looks like you have worked out an agreement where
Quiet for a plea.
it is a true second though, right?
It is a true second, Your Honor. I believe it was just filed as first for whatever reason.
You're charged with driving while intoxicated, first offense, although it's a second offense. You need to understand that there are very serious consequences with this, Mr. Gonzalez. You now will have 2 DWIs on your record. What happens on the next one?
Deportation?
If you ever get pulled over again and an officer smells alcohol, you will be charged with driving while intoxicated, third offense, which is a felony offense. You were looking at a minimum of 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison. Do you understand? If I were you, I would never get into a car, even if you've had a sip of alcohol. Otherwise, it's probably not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You are giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement today. You are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. Under federal law, you give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you are stuck with this forever. Is it true or untrue that you had a 0.15 or above?
¿Verdad o no verdad?
The agreement is 1 year in jail to be probated for 15 months. We will do a DWI, repeat offender DWI education class. You will do 1 victim impact panel. You will do a TRAS to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill them. No drugs, no alcohol, no breath test refusal. If you were pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it while you're on this probation. If you do not, then you're in violation. I'm telling you now, Mr. Gonzalez Dominguez, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my county at all message. So now you will be required to pay the DPS supervisory fee and the court costs. You will now be leaving here somewhere in the neighborhood of around $5,000 in fines and fees. And if you don't pay it, every $100 you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail. And if you're not a citizen of this country, you're not here with permission, you go to jail for that kind of time, you will probably get an immigration detainer. Do you understand?
¿Usted lo entiende? Yes, sir.
I'm suspending your ability to drive for 1 year. You must also obtain does he have a portable device now, or what does he have?
On right now, Your Honor.
Okay.
We are asking for the portable since he will be in.
So once he gets the portable device first, then we can take off the scram device.
Yeah.
I have been paying for all of your devices as of now. Going forth, you will be required to pay for everything. If you fail to pay for it, if the device goes into lockout, so will your probation. You must do a $100 donation to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, 30 hours of community service. Do you have children?
¿Tiene hijos?
No.
No.
Okay. You will be required to do the 30 hours of community service.
Varias.
Is this how you understand the agreement?
Yes.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty and I'm going to follow this agreement. How much is the total?
Judge, you said you were gonna do 1 year flat driverless suspension?
Correct.
So with the driverless suspension is 4,900.
No, but it's 45 for the
45.
supervisory, and then what are court costs?
Oh, so the DPS fine is
4,500.
And then the court costs are 420.
How much?
420.
420?
420.
You will now owe $300 or $3,920 You will be given a 2-year payment plan to do it. If you fail to pay, like I said, day for every $100 you owe. Somehow we have to get your attention, and I hope this is it, before something drastic happens where you end up with a 50-year sentence. Good luck to you, sir. So you are charged with threatening exhibition or use of a firearm with a school bus. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement that it's a 6-month deferred. Ms. Uceda, this is the type of probation that if you complete successfully, you do not end up with a conviction on your record. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
You can't tell people it was dismissed. It doesn't get dismissed. You do a probation. If you complete it, there's no conviction on your record.
Oh,
There's a big difference. Do you understand?
yeah, I understand.
Okay. It is extremely important that you complete this successfully, because if you don't, this is a potential crime of violence that will always be used against you in the future. If you ever try to apply for a job, if you ever try to go do something in this life, you will always have to explain this. If it's a conviction, meaning if it goes on your record, that is a very bad thing.
Yeah, I
You
understand.
need to complete this probation.
Mhm.
You understand?
Yeah, I understand now.
I'm going to waive all your fees. It's never about the money. It's about you showing up on time, not using alcohol, not using drugs, and doing illegal drugs, and doing the classes you're supposed to do.
Mhm.
The recommendation here was for you to do a Thinking for a Change, which is a 16-week class that you go once a week. Mr. Slider has asked for me to give you a different class, which is a effective decision-making class, which is an 8-hour class. I will do it. The other thing she's supposed to do is what else?
It's anger management.
He's still on an anger management.
I finished that one.
It's okay, we can get that certificate.
Did she do it? Was
She did do it.
Yeah, I
She's
finished
done,
it.
she's done quite a bit since she's been on bond, Judge.
Okay, I will give you credit for anything that you've done.
Mhm.
The only thing that we're asking you to do, stay out of trouble. Don't be in possession of weapons. And I'll make you a deal. If you do really well, I'll take you off in half the time. So if you get everything done, you're nice to everybody, especially the probation officers, because I'm telling you, these people have a really hard job because they deal with a lot of people who aren't nice. And if you aren't nice to the probation officers, they're not going to treat you well, and you're going to be right back over them.
Mhm. I understand.
You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to test on your behalf, confront, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported. Right. I still have to advise you that if you're not, you can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization.
But I was.
He's just advising you,
Oh,
just in
okay.
case if you weren't, he's just making sure.
You need to
that
understand that you also give up the right to appeal.
Oh,
So what that means is that once you enter into, this is a contract that you and I are entering into. If you complete it successfully, we're all happy. If you violate it though, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail, bring you back out, and you're facing a whole year if you violate this. You understand?
yes, I understand.
Don't pick up any new cases. Do your stuff on time. If there's ever any issues, if you ever have any problems, come back, talk to us, and we can work through anything.
Okay, I understand.
Any questions?
No.
How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. Sorry, I'm very nervous.
No need to be. You know, as long as you do everything well, there's no need to be nervous.
Mhm.
I'm not going to find you guilty. I'm going to wait. I will withhold that for 6 months. Wait for you to do what you need to do.
What I did was a mistake, I know.
Just the idea is that you learn. That's why we have this, so that you learn, so you don't make the mistake again and end up with something worse. Everybody back there in jail, they never learn. They never grew up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Grow up. What are you doing with yourself now? Did you graduate from high school?
last year I graduated.
So what's the plan for the rest of your life?
Next year I might go to college.
Why next year? Why are you waiting?
Because they were helping me to get into college, but
Who's they?
like the teacher from high school,
Okay, so what are you doing with yourself now? Nothing.
helping my parents. I know it's nothing, I know.
No, that's not good. You're doing nothing. And the thing is that all you're doing is you're getting older. And if you're not doing anything now, 1 year is going to pass by, 2 years is going to pass by. That's unacceptable.
I might get a
No.
job.
No, you need to get a job. And I'm now making that a condition of as well. You either have to get a job or be in school full time. I'm not going to let you be a bum and do nothing while you're on probation. If you don't get a job, it's not going to go well for you. You need to be productive because when you have too much time on your hands,
Mhm.
you get self-destructive. Bad things happen. You need something to do in this life. Do you understand?
Understand?
Okay, so I want to know within 3 weeks that she's done something. I'm giving you 3 weeks. If you don't have a bunch of applications in to try to get a job, it's not going to go well. I want you to start looking.
I applied, but they want like everything. They want Social Security.
How else are they going to pay you?
They want it. I don't have such. I do have, but
You do? If you were born here, you do. You just got to
they
go
want
get a copy
ID,
of
but I
it.
haven't got my ID.
She got to go get her ID.
I have to go get my ID.
Man, how are you going to live this life without even an ID? You see, Shada, no. I'm gonna keep you here. We're gonna work with you to make sure that stuff happens with you.
Mhm.
First, I want you to get your ID. You got 2 weeks. After that, we're gonna work on getting your social security card. You got another 2 weeks to get your social security card. After that, we're gonna start working on getting you a job.
Social Security.
You got the card?
My mom has it.
Okay, so I want you to go get an ID. You got 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Got it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Good
Thank you,
luck.
Judge.
Thank you so much. Mhm.
All right. Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Upshaw. Sir, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On April 5th, 2025, a law enforcement officer conducted a traffic stop due to a heavily tinted motor vehicle in Harris County, Texas, and also for the defendant's failure to signal within 100 feet before making his turn. The officer told the defendant to lower his windows for safety. The defendant slightly lowered the rear window. The officer was still unable to see inside the vehicle. The officer asked the defendant again to lower the window. The defendant said he did not have to. The officer observed the defendant acting nervously by breathing heavily and staring at the floorboard of the motor vehicle. The officer told the defendant to step out of the vehicle for safety. The defendant refused. The officer opened the driver's door and told the defendant to step out of the vehicle. The defendant declined again. The officer grabbed the defendant's wrist and attempted to pull the defendant out of the vehicle. The defendant resisted by clenching his fist and pulling his arm away towards his body. And the officer told the defendant to step out again, to which the defendant stated he did not have to. The officer attempted to pull the defendant out of the motor vehicle. The defendant continued to resist by pulling his arm towards his body. The officer was able to pull the defendant outside of the car. The defendant again resisted by clenching both fists and refused to place his hands behind his back by tensing his arms and pulling away. The officer and his partner forced handcuffs onto the defendant in order to perform the arrest.
Mr. Upshaw, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run his license, please? See if there's a valid. The only bond condition I'm placing on you now, sir, is that you're not allowed to drive unless you have a valid license, a Texas driver's license, and liability insurance in your name. I'm just asking you to follow the law. If you do not have one or the other, then you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
His license is eligible.
Okay, so I'm going to have you sign conditions to that, and then do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to give you time to hire a lawyer, so I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll have you take a seat in the juror box. I'm going to get you bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and that's how you're free to go. All right? Please.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for Mr. Torres. And could we turn the live stream? He's out on bond, yes. And if we could turn the live stream off, please. That would be okay. This is the old DWI. I'm being appointed to the case today. So I talked to the state and I kind of looked at the procedural history of the case. So he had an attorney, he had hired an attorney. He came to court every single time the attorney was hired and was working for him. There was a PTI offer on the table while the attorney was hired. And the attorney basically told Mr. Torres, okay, well, it's going to be this additional money if you want to enter into the PTI program for me to represent you throughout that whole process. And Mr. Torres couldn't afford it. And so the attorney withdrew and Mr. Torres didn't come to court one time. Only one time he didn't
I
come to
have
court.
multiple times that he has not failed, that he's
Where-
failed job.
Okay, where on the district? I looked at the resets and sometimes he was not required to appear and then there was one capias. So I might be misreading, but,
At a county bond.
because I think he was arrested.
I see the KPS on 10-8 and then 4-3.
10-8 and then what?
3? No.
He was arrested out of county,
It's a lawyer.
so,
Okay, so here's what we'll do is I'll give you some time.
yes. Well, I talked to the state and they're like, we're not opposed to PTI, but you have to reapply, right?
I'm
And,
not going to sit here and wait the 3 months when the case is 332 days old.
Okay.
No, I'll give you 30 days at the max
okay,
for him to have everything done, turned in and ready to go. But I'm not going to sit here and reward someone for,
The judge, only thing I said, I just want to make sure it was clarified. He was originally auto approved, I pulled that, and now he's going to require a mitigation package
Right.
because of these.
okay, so what we'll do is I'm going to give him 2 weeks to have the mitigation packet turned in.
okay,
Okay, if he doesn't have it turned in, it's clear to file. And
okay,
then I'm going to put a GPS monitor on him now,
okay.
so we know where he is.
Yeah, and one more thing, Your Honor, just to make the court aware, there is discovery, well, the state doesn't have discovery missing or anything like that, but I want to obviously submit a supplemental breath
Oh,
and toxilizer discovery order. Like there's very minimal discovery in this case. And so I have no idea what kind of investigation was done on this case prior to my representation. And so I do have concerns that
I look
there's.
today,
Okay,
try to expedite it as fast.
right. So I'm just saying like in 30, I don't know in 30 days what the discovery situation will be, but I intend to file a breath discovery order.
Get it done today.
So,
Come up, Mr. Torres. Regardless, if he's applying for the PTI program, 2 weeks, he must have absolutely everything turned in.
okay, yeah, it does require the TRAS as well.
Happen after the fact.
Okay, okay.
If he's either,
Just the application and the
you must
paperwork.
have
Okay.
absolutely everything done within 2 weeks, or I'm not giving you any more resets for that. Do you understand? Today, you will get a scram on one ankle, you're going to get a GPS monitor, and if you take off again, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand? You're not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. Can you run his license, please?
Yes, sure.
Mr. Torres, Judge?
No, Joe.
Yeah.
Did you say
Torres,
Christopher?
Last name.
Torres?
Just a-
I thought she said Christopher. That's why. Did you? No? Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
It is eligible, Your Honor.
Okay. You're not allowed to drive unless you have liability insurance as well. That is also a condition of your bond. Do you understand? Okay, so we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Tell
We
me,
have Dwayne Berard,
bond or Jen?
Joe.
Okay,
Okay.
what's the word?
I was speaking with the chief. I'm not sure if he wanted to come up here on this individual. This is for Dwayne Berard, if we can do probable cause.
It's an assault, right?
Yes, Your Honor. On February 1st, 2025, an officer was notified of an inmate who was assaulted by 2 other unidentified inmates. The officer was informed by the detention officer that the complaint was stated he had been assaulted by the defendants. The officer was unable to review surveillance video due to the camera being down. The officer interviewed the detention officer who identified the defendants by the description given to him by the complaining witness. The officer interviewed the complaining witness and observed redness and bruises to the right side of his face and a laceration on his right forearm. The complaining witness stated that 2 light-skinned black males had entered into a cell yelling,
Joe Torres?
I apologize, I'm reading straight from the number. You gotta get your gay ass out of here. And started stomping and punching him. The complainant was described one male as bald with a beard and the other had a fade with waves and tattoos. Witness stated both males had seen him previously sitting with a transgender inmate and made comments. Through the description, the detention officer was able to identify the defendants.
Judge, the complainant says that the people that assaulted him were two light-skinned males, one bald with a beard and one with a fade and a beard. My client at the time had an afro. He does not even match the description given by the complainant. So off of the wrong, improper identification of my client, there would be no probable cause to make the arrest. He doesn't even fit the description.
Ace?
Your Honor.
I mean, I don't know. You know, that was 2 months ago. Hair grows. I don't.
When I saw him, I got the case, I think February 11th. When I saw him on that date, he had an afro. In his booking photo, he has an afro. Now, after the fact, he has now cut his hair. February 1st is the date of the incident. He had an afro.
So Your Honor, what we have here is, and just come from the office report. By the description given by inmate Gardner, Cameron was able to identify inmate Williams, inmate Gerard, Dwayne. Inmate Gardner was in fear for his life and press charges against said inmates.
I don't know. Do you want to reach out to the officer? Did they like take some kind of?
I mean, absolutely.
There
Or
was
did they
pictures
bring him?
on the portal. The pictures taken, there is a male with a beard and a fade with tattoos as described by the complainant. However, the picture that's on the DA portal, that's not my client.
So, Your Honor, here's what I've just asked. We reached out to Colin because he does have some serious pending charges. I think we're going to be able to get our case resolved out based on our evaluation of this case. I just need a second here to get felony to reach back out to me to come to a resolution on this.
I mean, if they have the wrong person, they have the wrong
It's
person.
the wrong person,
I
Judge.
would argue that based on the PC we have in the DIMS.
You want to reach out to them now to see? I'll give
We've
you
already
some.
reached out. We've reached out.
Fine.
And we were here in our last setting for that to happen. It still hasn't.
Ariel, that's not what happened. What happened is Ariel came to me and said, hey, I think y'all have issues with the case. Here's why. I said, okay, we'll take a look. We have taken a look. We've given felony our concerns for the case. That is what was supposed to happen.
But is it true that the photo that they gave was a different person?
Yes, that is correct, Judge.
Where does
Let's do this. I got a line building up. Show them real
I have
quick.
showed them, Judge. And I gave,
Judge, based
I broke down the case, gave them point details of what's wrong.
and I'm not, what I'm saying is, Judge, based on what Ariel gave me last time, we evaluated the case.
But we all have the discovery on the portal. I did my diligence. That's where I'm going to leave it,
Okay,
Judge.
let's do this. Let me stand down for a second. Can you pull the picture so I can see it real quick as well? And then let me take a look. And if it's not the right person, I'm going to find no PC now.
Okay,
So just, but let me, they've been waiting. Just give me
okay, Judge.
10 minutes. And then let me.
I'll hop back in line and I'll have the picture ready. Thank you.
I will say, Judge, before we do the plea, I was informed by probation, he did a TRAS in anticipation of his sentencing for next week in felony courts. And apparently they are recommending inpatient treatment. So he's likely going to get that on the felony probation.
Over there.
That was their TRAS.
Yeah, we're not going to ding him.
Okay. Just wanna-
No, he'll be expected to once he's released.
Of course.
Mr. Myers, come up. Good morning, sir. Good morning. You're charged, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're making a very serious decision today, Mr. Myers. You need to understand that you ever get into a car forever and a day, you get pulled over and there's anything funky in your car, whether it's alcohol, dope, you're now going to be looking at a felony charge. Do you understand? A third DWI, you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Have you been to the pen before?
Yes, sir.
You could be looking at potentially 15 to life days. You know, if it's a serious enough charge, you know, if you've been to the pen twice, you're habitual. 25 to life, man. Really. When something that's so easy as you taking an Uber, $40, anywhere you want to go. Even if you've had a sip of alcohol, a toke off a joint, you get into a car, you're begging for trouble. Do you understand?
Sure.
The agreement is 1 year in Harris County Jail to be probated for 18 months. You will do a repeat offender education class, 4 victim impact panels. You must also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. He's already done a TRAS upstairs.
He'll still have to do it. with
Can
us.
we go on that as well? And
Yes.
we'll piggyback so he doesn't have to do it again? Okay, we're going to use your TRAS upstairs down here so you don't have to do it all over again. And what we'll do is we will do the same thing because they're requiring you to do SATIF upstairs, okay? Which is probably what they're going to order you to do. We will run everything at the same time so it runs together. Just if you have a problem, address it, man.
Yes, sir.
The last thing you want, did you see what happened yesterday? Did you see what happened upstairs yesterday?
Yes, sir.
This is one of the most powerful moments in the hearing. The judge references a real tragedy caused by drunk driving, reminding everyone in the courtroom that one bad decision behind the wheel can cost lives.
Yesterday, there was a guy that's in his 30s that had 2 DWI convictions. He's out in a car. He rams into someone else in the back, kills an officer.
Okay.
Yesterday, he got life. So that's what I'm saying. It's an accident. You don't mean to do it, but if you kill someone, you're looking at a life sentence, man. Take an Uber. It's not hard. It's so easy. One button on your damn phone will get you a car wherever you want to go. He must do 3 days in Harris County Jail as a condition of the probation. Do you know when he wants to do it?
April 28th.
Okay. All right. No breath test refusal. If you're driving in a car, an officer asks you to submit a breath test. You must do it while you're on this probation. No drugs, no alcohol, and a guardian and a lock. Is this how you understand the agreement, Mr. Myers?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you're stuck with us until you complete it or you get revoked. If you do something to violate this probation, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out and we're going to have a hearing to determine if you violate it and you're looking at an entire year. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay? I have to suspend your license. I'm going to suspend it for a year. Good luck to you, sir.
And the super fines and everything are waived. I am appointed. He is very much a good gentleman.
I normally on a second won't, but he's on probation. He's going to be doing SATIF. I will. Don't get into a car, man. Just please don't get into a car. It's not hard. You understand? I'm suspending your license as of today. You're not allowed to drive. I will have you sign an affidavit today promising me you're not going to drive. Mr. Myers, I don't care what you got to do. Just don't drive. All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks.